Hi, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for joining us today for our second joint webinar in partnership with our friends at ISG. We're really glad you could make the time. I'm Tim. I'm part of the sales team at Prima, and I'll be walking you through today's session. Before we start, there's a little bit of housekeeping. So today's webinar will last around 40 minutes. Please feel free to drop any questions into the chat as we go. My colleagues Andrew and Tyler from the onboarding team will be keeping an eye on this. Um, if any questions at the end of the session remain unanswered, I will reach out to you personally afterwards. And yes, the session is being recorded, so you can rewatch or share it with your team afterwards. The team at ISG will email the details shortly. To start with, let me ask you a question. Consistently, what is the one thing you want more in your business? Now, I know it's a bit of a leading question. Pardon me. I know it's a little bit of a leading question based on the webinar topic. However, I think you would all agree we all have a need and desire for more sales. And for me, this presents the challenge you face daily. We all know that the market is tough, margins are under pressure, competition is fierce, and the supply chain is more unstable. The customers have more choice than ever. The good news, that also means there are opportunities out there, and if you know where to look and how best to act upon them. So today, I'm going to share some practical tips our customers are using to drive growth through the Prima platforms. Even if you're working with a different provider, these strategies can still help you find opportunities, save time, and strengthen customer relationships. All things that drive sales and, importantly, profits. We'll also look at some live demos so you can see how it works in practice. So let's begin. Let's start with one of the quickest ways to grow sales, and that is expanding your product offering. We know it's been a challenging time in our industry, with Ascendant stepping away from the office products market. The industry is left with one national wholesaler, and that brings challenges like supply chain stability, pricing leverage, and the risk of relying too heavily on one source. So what are the benefits of a wider product range? Broader selection provides more choice and convenience, making it more likely for your customers to find what they need and remain loyal to your brand. More opportunities for cross-selling and upselling, leading to higher order values and increased revenue. It can improve your web visibility for the likes of Google and Bing to help optimize your SEO. So our action tip would be, review your list of vendors and look at the potential gaps. Speak with customers and gauge their feedback. Contact your software partner, find out what vendor catalogs they have available, then do your research into those vendors. Find out if they're a suitable partner in terms of service, delivery, range, price, etc. And then look to establish that partnership and then move forward. In Prima, we've made it as simple as we can through something called Prima Marketplace, your all-in-one data catalog repository. And it's just simply a website. And you can go to that website by going to marketplace.primasoftware.co. Now, there's over 2.3 million products in here across 58 vendor catalogs. Most of them are public, but there are some that are private you can't access. But you can browse and view this website. You can look at the detail. Now, I'm going to just do a search here for Bic Red pens. And it's going to scan that 2.3 million product file and come back and then demonstrate to me all the products that are available. Now, that information is cross-referenced. So if you can buy that same product from multiple vendors, as we can see with this item here, I can then just go in and see where I can buy that product from. I can go into the actual item itself, and I can see, multiple pictures of the product. I can see a price, I can see detailed descriptions, product specifications, things like alternatives and associated products. And with a click of a button, I can click and request that catalog, populate with my details, and a click of a button, that is in my system. How cool is that? Now, we're always keen to find new vendors and list their products on Marketplace. So you have some companies and contacts for us to talk with. We will endeavor to get those products listed and, importantly, in your Prima platform. So here's a great example. Prima client in Florida surveyed a cross-section of their customer base, and they invested the time in finding the right sources. They then added 6,500 furniture products from COE into their Prima ERP and simply tick the button, and populated their entire range onto Prima Go, their web store. Adding that extended range gave a more fulfilling customer experience, and they were rewarded. The catalog went live at the end of Q1 last year, and they reported to me they'd increased their online turnover by 8%, enabling their customers to buy from one source rather than multiple vendors. This helped ensure retention and larger orders. Everybody wins. Well, the next practical tips to boost your sales would be to create and customize a standout online store. Gartner released a report that 80% of all sales interactions in the business-to-business world will be adopted online by the end of this year. And this is why, with your now expanded range, it is important that your clients access the information readily and easily. And that is why a strong online presence is fundamental. Your online store is often the first impression and the key driver of sales. If it looks dated or hard to use, you run the risk of losing your customer and certainly not winning new ones. With the new digital native buyer emerging, they've been brought up on technology and prefer screen time than picking up a telephone. The expectation of buyers today is they do the research and order what's needed online. So a successful online store provides the content and the products they need quickly and easily. For example, when walking into a Walmart or a CVS, the stores position promotions and advertising to gain your attention, for you to add those products to your cart. And your online store is your equivalent of walking that aisle in Walmart. It is your opportunity to push ranges and products that you see as key. What would you think if you walked into a store in May and saw last year's Christmas promotions still on the shelves? What would your perception be? Well, it lead me to think maybe if I ordered from them, would I receive those orders? Are they going to be the best source of that product? Keeping the content relevant and up to date is essential. Conducting such things as promotions, targeted offers, small touches, maybe like a back to school promotion or a seasonal offer, really help improve perception and improve buying behaviors. So I'm just going to demonstrate to you now on Prima Go, our web store, how to make some adjustments to a banner. So you can see here, this is a typical online store for a Prima user. This is one of my demo stores. And we've got a Halloween banner here already, but we're now about 6 weeks out from Thanksgiving. So I'm just going to come into the control panel of this store. And I'm just going to show you how easy it is to add a new banner. So I've come in into the promotional area. I'm going to add a new banner here. Simply just upload it. Let's update that content. Now, when I come back into this store and I refresh this page, it will have added that additional banner into the list. Yeah, and if I just scroll to it, there it is. Very simple, really easy to do. All these build customer loyalty and keep your customer coming back. So with Prima Go, our customers have all the necessary tools to quickly and easily create a modern, responsive, and customizable store that performs. And when I talk about responsive, it's not necessarily what changes you make, but it's also how it then renders on the screen. So as I expand the window and make it smaller, you'll notice how the screen resolution is changing to adapt until it gets to what we call a burger menu, which is designed for mobile devices. I can also do quick and simple things. And you don't need to be a techie for this. I'm certainly not one. So if I wanted to, again, come into the designer, I wanted to make some changes. So if I come in here, click in the navigation bar, I'm going to change the color. So I'm going to choose a bit of an orange here, theme it for Halloween. I'm going to make that change and save it. When I come back into this store and again refresh this page, this navigation bar you see here is going to turn orange that I've set it to. Again, other simple things, if I wanted to make aesthetic changes or add information in, I can come into the page layouts and I want to change the home page, which is the page we're on. So on this list here, I'm going to select home page and I can add content, I can delete content out, or I can just drag the information to be where I want it to be. And again, just save those changes. And when I come back into this store and when I refresh it, these images here will be further down the page. Yeah, so they're now further down the page. I've brought the cartridge finder further up. So this is your 24/7 sales and marketing tool, and perception is key in the pursuit of prospecting. We live in a world where convenience, transparency, and speed define great customer experiences. Let me just load this up for you here. Sorry, I want to show you this. Think about how we all interact online today, whether it's checking a bank balance, tracking a delivery, or managing subscriptions. We expect instant access, control, and clarity. The same expectation now applies to business relationships. Clients don't want to wait for an email response or a call back to find an invoice or a confirmation of a delivery. They want information immediately, in one place, whenever they need it. And that's exactly where our self-service portal comes in. It empowers your clients to see invoices, pay the outstanding invoices if they so wish to, look at their order histories, look at pending orders from their users, look at the order lines, look at the proof delivery, who signed for that delivery or a picture of that delivery at their location, set up and manage their own users with their own permissions, their own budgetary controls, addresses, shopping lists, etc. They handle all the key tasks independently while freeing up your internal team's time to focus on higher value work. So what are some of the key benefits of Prima Go? Well, first of all, it's fully integrated with the Prima ERP and the rest of the Prima ecosystem. It offers AI optimized search, true AI learning, right? As searches are conducted, the AI will learn, refine, and return more and more accurate results, helping you deliver what your customers are looking for. Prima Go users can prioritize their own products, allowing the opportunity to push products they want to sell to the top of the searches. So I could, quite simply just show you that. If I could bring this back up. So for example, if I go here to break room and then go to coffee, what this is now going to show me is I've put a banner at the top of the list here and I set these products to show at the top of my searches. You control that. Results, your business becomes more efficient, your team is freed up from the burden of endless admin tasks, your store looks more professional, and it's easier to deal with than your competitors, giving you a chance to compete, win against the big box competition. So the action tip on this would be make this staff members' responsibility and invest the time into regularly updating the content. Eye-catching visuals drive engagement, and even simple seasonal banners can boost clicks and, importantly, margin. Everyone here, I'm sure, is familiar with ISG's Empower Marketing portal, so be sure to check out the portal for ready-to-use banner assets from various vendors. Access is quick and easy. Prima also has live integration to SB Richards marketing assets. So as the content is updated by the wholesaler, this is automatically updated into your online store. Keeping your store fresh really pays off. So we've been working with a customer to revamp their store. And through speaking with their clients and making adjustments, alterations, and adding content that is relevant, they've increased their web traffic by over 31% in the first 4 months of setting the new look live. They've increased their order values by $47, which for them put an additional 11% on their order total. Now, this is one example of many, and you can do the same. So, one of the most practical tips to boost your sales is prospect smarter. Did you know that 79% of marketing leads never convert to sales? This could be because of poor qualification or lack of follow-up. Now, that's not necessarily a pipeline problem, that's a prospecting problem. And the difference between top performers and everyone else isn't volume, it's intelligence. Our CRM is designed to help teams prospect smarter, identifying, engaging, and converting higher value leads faster. Sales growth is all about consistency. Too often, follow-up slip through the cracks, and that's where our latest addition to Prima Suite really hits. It helps users to track every call, every opportunity, and every deal in one place. So let's take a closer look. This dashboard gives the salesperson key metrics on their current performance, where they are in the month, and what they need to do to achieve and hit targets. Instead of random notes or messy spreadsheets, you get a clear picture of who you're talking to and where they are in the cycle and what the next step should be. Here you can see in one screen my sales pipeline and the full activity from initial call through to conclusion. And clicking into a window, I can see that entire conversation, all the history, the next actions needed, all in one place. So I've got lots of conversational history with this customer. I've sent emails, I've had calls, I've done site visits, and I might want to then make a new note to call this person in a week's time and just put some context of information. I can then set what the next tag is and when I next want to make that action and save that. And that will then alert me on that date. Now, when tasks are due or overdue, it tells me and awaits that action. So I've got one here. It's going back, unfortunately, to the 29th of July, but I can go in action now and I can just drag things along my pipeline to where they need to be. It's all updating and reporting accordingly. And the best part, it's all fully integrated into your contacts and your customers with your sales information. No external exports or failed links. And there is no significantly high third-party CRM tools. Dealers that are using Prima Engage tell us it keeps their sales teams focused, accountable, leading to stronger pipelines and higher closure rates. Our action list would be to centralize your data, share across the team, and ensure everyone follows the same process. Ensure complete visibility across every stage of the pipeline, allowing teams to monitor progress, identify bottlenecks early, and make data-driven decisions with confidence. Establish clear and consistent prospecting goals to ensure every team member is aligned, focused, and driving towards a measurable growth target. Leverage smart segmentation to identify and focus on high-value prospects, ensuring every outreach is precise, efficient, and impactful. Consistently measure performance to track progress, identify improvements, and ensure that every action contributes to achieving that strategic objective. Now, a steady pipeline means steadier sales. Consistency builds momentum, improves win rates, and ensures new revenues keep flowing, all of which drive long-term growth and stronger profits. Our next practical tip would be to build stronger customer relationships. Winning customers is great, but keeping them, that's where long-term growth comes from. Customers don't buy just products, they buy relationships. So can I ask you to think about how do you maintain and measure relationships with your customers now? Our clients have that great tool I've just shown you in Prima Engage. So if I come into an area here called tasks, I can see all of my tasks and all of my to-do lists that I need to do at the moment. And if I want to go into any of these tasks, I can just click into one here. It's got that full conversation history, so you never forget a follow-up because Engage has AI immersive in the platform, keeping you one step ahead. So, and what I mean by that is that I have lots of notes and conversation history here that could be going back for years. There could be thousands of lines of notes and information here. And if I was to read through that, that might take me half an hour, might take me a couple of days to summarize all that information. But I've got here a note summary option here. And what that means is it's now the AI is reviewing the full context and the full conversation history and summarizing it into 5 key areas. What the client needs, what are the upselling opportunities, what concerns or pain points is that customer experiencing, where competitors have been mentioned, and any additional notes. Giving the user powerful information before contacting that client. How brilliant is that? How could you use that in your business? So here's the next action tip. Design a clear and repeatable outreach process to simplify communication, reduce friction, and enhance customer responsiveness across all channels. Integrate AI-driven tools and analytics to streamline workflows, improve accuracy, and drive smarter, faster, and more informed business actions. By adding a personal touch, we turn standard communications into meaningful connections, creating loyalty, deepening engagement, and differentiating our brand. By keeping the customer close, we build lasting relationships rooted in trust, insight, and collaboration, turning every interaction into an opportunity for growth. These small but consistent gestures strengthen loyalty and reduce that churn, Keeping an existing customer is always more profitable than winning a new one. Now, our next action point is data-driven reporting. In today's data-driven environment, information is power, only when it's visible, connected, and actionable. This section is all about transforming raw data into real insight, understanding where we are versus where we need to be. How do we truly gauge success or recognize failure? It starts with clear targets because without measurable goals, effective reporting and real progress simply aren't possible. Now, with this in mind, here are our action tips. These are here to deliver key metrics we recommend you analyze and act upon our month-to-date overall company performance. Your month-to-date report helps you see how the business is tracking in real time, not just at the end of the month when it's too late to adjust. You can compare sales versus last month versus last year, spot category growth or decline, and make smart adjustments on the fly, whether that's shifting focus, adjusting pricing, or doubling down on what's selling well. A month-to-date salesperson performance report. This one gives you team visibility and accountability. You can instantly see who's hitting targets, who might need a little support, and where opportunities are being missed. Leaders using this tool in their weekly sales, they tend to use it in the weekly sales meeting to celebrate wins and identify next steps. Keeps everyone focused and motivated. The quotation pipeline tracks all the sales activity. Tracks all active sales quotations from creation to closure, providing visibility into potential revenue, conversion rates, and the overall health of the sales pipeline. New business retention. That measures how much newly acquired business is maintained over a specific period, helping assess customer satisfaction, onboarding effectiveness, and the long-term value of new clients. And the last one, lapsed accounts. Identifies and tracks accounts that have recently become inactive or stopped purchasing, helping the business analyze churn and develop strategies to re-engage lost customers. And when you combine these 5 insights, you get a full picture of where your business is today and where your next sales opportunities are hiding. But here's the key. Insight is only valuable when you act upon it and quickly. And that's where Prima Vantage comes in. Prima Vantage brings all these data tools together in one clear visual dashboard. No need to dig through reports or spreadsheets, no frustrating links or third parties. You can see everything in one place. Your company's performance, your salesperson stats, open quotes, lapsed accounts, all in one place, ready to act on. The dashboard is a working tool for your business, identifying clearly the threats and opportunities within your data, and of course, the customers and prospects. Things that make a real difference are all measured against defined targets and benchmarks. So I'm going to show you one of these reports. In this case, it's going to be the salesperson profitability report. For example, you can clearly see some team members are doing exceptionally well, denoted by the color coding. Yeah, the green are great. Amber, there aren't any in this case here, but if they were, it means they're quite close to their target. And the ones that are in red, they need some assistance. Now, this is demo data, so there's no need to panic about some of these people here. But by visualizing these sorts of metrics through BI reporting, you can identify the gaps that matter, highlight emerging opportunities, and make confident data-backed decisions that drive growth. Everything is a gap. Ultimately, gap analysis isn't just about spotting shortfalls. It's about recognizing where effort, strategy, and focus can create the biggest impact. Right now, I'm pulling this data manually, but the beauty of modern BI reporting is that the process can be automated. Data can be pushed on schedules, or triggers can be set to email information direct to you, your teams, and even your customers, saving time and streamlining the actions you define. The power of reporting lies in its flexibility. You can run endless reports. The real impact comes from knowing what you need and how you need it. Let reporting do the heavy lifting for you. Now, you've already got a gold mine in your data. The trick is making it actionable. For example, our customers report things like a drop in spend and quickly take action, on this. So, this here gives a great trigger. So in this report, we're now 11 days into a 23-day working month, and I'm projected here on this data, we've just lost under $10,000 worth of revenue. And if I look at this report, that's just identifying those customers where that missed opportunities is happened. Don't leave that money on the table. Right. Tip number 6. Let's talk about automation because it's one of those areas that can truly transform your business and how it runs on a day-to-day. When you think about a typical week, how much time do you or your team spend chasing orders, sending invoices, updating prices, or even, like I've just done, pulling reports? Probably more than you'd like, right? Well, these are the kinds of tasks that quietly eat up hours every single week, and they don't directly grow sales. They're necessary, but they're repetitive, and they often lead to mistakes when things get busy. That's where automation comes in. Dealers who start automating even small parts of the process quickly see the difference. It's not just about saving time, it's about working smarter. So automation can help with reducing manual entry and costly errors, respond faster to customers, keep pricing, stock, and order information accurate across the board. Most importantly, free up your people to focus on selling, building customer relationships, and growing the business. And that's exactly where Prima ERP comes in. Think of Prima ERP as the engine that powers everything else within the business. It sits at the heart of the operation, keeping all moving parts connected and running smoothly. Prima ERP automates the routine, things like ordering, invoicing, reporting, catalog, and pricing updates, so you and your team can focus on the work that actually grows revenue. Let's be honest, no one gets into business because they love sending invoices or reconciling data. By automating those repetitive steps, you not only gain back time, you reduce risk, improve accuracy, and create consistency across every department. For example, you can convert emails from clients directly into sales orders in Prima, taking the data within the message and transforming that into an order automatically. Instead of manually processing, that simply change can save you hours of time you can redirect straight into prospecting and customer care. And the good news is, automation doesn't have to be overwhelming. Our team will discuss your workflows and identify where automation will have the biggest payoff. Okay, so instead of flipping a switch and changing everything overnight, it's a gradual process that delivers visible improvements every step of the way. So the takeaway from number 6 is, here's something simple you can do. Look at a routine, a repetitive task in your business, things like invoicing, reordering, or like I said, reporting. Identify just one process you could automate, whether it's within the ERP or another tool, and start there. Once you see the difference that one change makes, you'll naturally find other areas where automation can save you time and boost that accuracy. Automation doesn't replace people, it empowers them. It removes the friction in your processes so your team can spend more time doing what humans do best, solving problems, serving customers, and driving sales. Now, we've covered a lot of tools and strategies today, but let's be honest, tools alone don't drive success. It's the people and partnerships behind them that make the real difference. The most successful dealers we work with don't try to do everything on their own. They build a strong partnerships with vendors, your buying group, distributors, and technology providers. And they leverage those relationships to grow faster, stay competitive, and deliver more value to their customers. Think about your own network for a second. Who are the partners that are helping you move forward, and who might be holding you back? Okay. One useful exercise is to map those partners using a cost value matrix. On one axis, you've got the cost. How much you're investing in that partnership. On the other, value. what that partner is delivering to your business. When you plot out, you'll see some partners fall in high cost, low value quadrant in the red. Those might need to be rethought and look at those partnerships. But others sit right where you want them to be in that green zone. That's where your strongest relationships live, and that's where you want to focus your time and energy. Because the right partnerships don't just save money, they multiply impact. They help you move faster, make smarter investments, and ultimately grow your business with less effort and lower risk. And that's one of the reasons why we're proud to partner with ISG. ISG gives dealers access to an incredible network of vendors, marketing programs, and peer insights that you don't get anywhere else. Yeah, events like Industry are a perfect example. You'll leave new ideas, new contacts, new opportunities to grow. Speaking of Industry Week, we're going to be there in Denver at booth 314. So please stop by, say hello to me and the team, and let's talk about what your next step is for your business. At Prima, partnerships are the core of how we operate. We host regular customer forums, webinars, and live sessions to share best practices and explore challenges together. For example, our most recent session focused on helping dealers navigate the recent Ascendant switch, making sure they had the support and the tools to stay stable and profitable through this change. That's what true partnership looks like, showing up, sharing knowledge, and helping each other succeed. So the action tip we've listed here is take a look at your own partnerships this month. And I've listed 4 of the key ones for you here. There's plenty more for you to review. And ask yourself, are they helping you grow? Are they easy to work with? Do they add measurable value to your business? And here's the key. If they are, tap into them. Explore marketing programs, co-branded promotions, or peer forums. Work with your vendors to launch new category or seasonal pushes. Partnerships expand your reach and multiply your resources. When you collaborate strategically, you can promote faster, reach new customers, and increase sales, all while keeping your marketing spend lower. Because in the end, growth isn't a solo effort. It's a result of working with the right people, the right partnerships, and a shared drive moving forward together. So just to wrap up and recap, my top tips from today are expand your product range, customize your online store, manage prospecting, build stronger customer relationships, use reports to their full potential, automate repetitive tasks, and partner with the right people. These are practical, proven, and working for Prima dealers right now and can work for you. If you'd like to dive a little deeper into how Prima can help your business in these areas, we'd love to talk to you. Just reach out and we'll make it happen. Thank you for spending the time with us today. We hope you've got some ideas that you can put into your business immediately. Now, at this stage, I'm going to hand you over to Steve McLaughlin, our CEO, for some closing remarks. Steve.
Thank you, Tim. And thank you to everyone who's joined us today. I think what Tim's just shared really captures what Prima's all about. Helping dealers keep up really and move forward. In our industry, change is constant, supplier shifts, as we know about recently, evolving customer expectations, new technology, it never stops. But what makes the difference is how we respond. Do we adapt, collaborate and grow, or do we wait and react? Software technology gives you the tools, product range, automation, AI insights, customer engagement, everything you need to compete. Partnership gives you the support from Prima, from ISG, from your peers and vendors, so you never have to face change alone. And growth's the outcome. Stronger sales, better margins, and more time to focus on what matters, growing your business by looking after your customers. I encourage you to explore what you've seen today and act on it. Look for one area where you can further automate, one partnership you can strengthen, or one sales insight you can turn into an action. Because every improvement you make builds momentum, and together that's how we move our industry forward. So thank you again for spending all your time today. We look forward to seeing you in Denver at Industry Week and hopefully becoming part of your ongoing success story. Thank you.